A new state law raises questions about the role of police and the best way to maintain safety inside schools. The rules for school resource officers have changed. New legislation wrapped up in last year's education bill prohibits officers from using some physical holds. Some officers in our area are considering getting out of schools. Emily Haugen explains what's different and how local departments are responding.
In schools, a resource officer can be a bridge.
Schools in general are microcosms of our community.
In those spaces, an SRO can also be a mediator.
There's mental health situations, there's fights, there's crimes, all those things needing a first responder and or police officer.
Brooklyn Park Police Chief Mark Bruley says his department has officers in its upper-level schools. Officers are trained to use force if necessary.
For some schools, we didn't have any incidents last year. In other schools, we had 2 or 3 use of force incidents in the entire year.
Very infrequent.
In Maple Grove, Police Chief Eric Werner sees similarly low numbers. He credits that to an SRO presence.
And what we're trying to do is through those relationships and collaboration, hopefully we don't have to use force.
Minnesota's sweeping education bill now says officers can't use prone restraint or other physical holds on students unless someone's life is at risk.
I'm trying to understand what were we trying to solve with this change.
Governor Walz spoke in favor of the legislation in mid-August.
I certainly think we should all agree that we should not kneel on the necks of students unless someone's life is at risk, and that is written into the law to be able to do that.
Officers across the state, including Werner's office, were confused.
So we're trying to use the least amount of force as possible. Now we have this higher standard of force, and we have a second standard.
The police chiefs we spoke with's main concern, law enforcement, was not consulted.
We have a piece of legislation that was made without involvement of public safety, particularly our associations.
Officers also say the guideline isn't clear.
They were so confusing, so poorly written that they were impossible to interpret what the impact was.
The Minnesota Chiefs of Police Association asked the state to clarify. Attorney General Keith Ellison shared an opinion clarifying that bill. He says officers, quote, may use reasonable force to restrain a student to prevent bodily harm or death to the student or another, unquote.
Without the Attorney General's opinion, I would not have sent SROs back into the school.
Bruley says this clarification is helpful, but it doesn't solve everything.
The law has to be rewritten, to be honest with you. The truth is, they should be doing it right now in a special session. That's what should happen.
Now, police chiefs are asking for more clarity in cases of state law violations that don't risk bodily harm or death.
Less than a week before school starts, get them retrained in what those standards are.
The school year is almost here, and some officers are still deciding.
We've committed to keeping our SRO program. However, we met with our SROs as of yesterday, and we're waiting to see if they want to make the decision to return to the schools.
And for some, not returning is a possibility. Emily Haugen, CCX News.
Republicans in St. Paul issued a statement this week asking the governor to meet for a special session about the SRO topic. Police in Golden Valley say a family fell victim to a violent home robbery over the weekend. Police say it happened at a home in the 6300 block of Medicine Lake Road Saturday night. According to police, a group of people was let into a home by a relative of the family that lives there, and then those suspects tied up the family members and stole valuable items held in a safe. They stole a 2019 Dodge Challenger that belonged to the family, and they stole 8 Merle-coated American Bulldog puppies valued at as much as $10,000 each.
This was a situation where people knew what was inside of the home, and they knew that, again, I don't see how they probably felt they couldn't get caught, because you've got somebody who's associated with the family and you've got cameras inside of the home.
Chief Green said officers have located the stolen car, and he feels certain they'll be able to find those responsible for this crime soon. Attendance at the state fair is on pace to exceed last year's, and last year was the 5th largest crowd in the fair's history. Amid those large crowds at the state fair this year is a puzzle with a twist. As Corey Bork reports, a crystal couple has drawn in the curiosity of fairgoers looking to piece together a challenge.
If you buy 3 puzzles, we'll put them in a tote that says "You Betcha."
At the Minnesota State Fair, you'll find a place for light bulb moments.
The twist is the image on the box cover is always a little different than the puzzle you build.
A place to find a puzzle with a twist.
We're just trying to make the jigsaw puzzle experience more engaging and more fun, and having that little surprise of discovering something new is infectious. It's very fun.
We've got a really fun surprise one.
Tony Nelson and his wife Candace created PuzzleTwist, where the picture on the box is different than the end result.
And then we have the fair A to Z, because how can you come to the fair and not get a fair puzzle?
I always say the best part of the puzzle is putting in that last piece. But when you're doing a twist and you're like seeing something develop and you figure out what it is, you have that feeling all the way throughout the puzzle, and we hear it over and over again that they love the twist.
One of the first 6 puzzles we did was called Reveal the Color.
The concept led to a collaboration with local artists like Steve Barry.
It's really fun to meet the people that are passionate about putting these puzzles together.
They're super fun to work with, and their puzzles are just super high quality and they're amazing. These are the 2 newest ones. The Woodland Critters piece is really cool because it's kind of like 16 puzzles in one, which is kind of fun to make. And then this is the newest one that we have, and it's called Along the Lake.
For fairgoers, the thought of getting a puzzle at the state fair is, well, no longer puzzling.
Thought for Christmas gift, and then we're kind of interested in getting something for ourselves.
This looks like something different than just your normal puzzle.
And for Tony Nelson, that's the right idea.
We're not trying to make the most world's impossible, frustrating puzzle. That's not us. We're trying to make the overall jigsaw puzzle experience just more fun.
At the state fair, Corey Bork, CCX News.
You can find PuzzleTwist in the Merchandise Mart on Dan Patch and Cooper Streets.
The second-ranked Champlin Park volleyball team lost its first match of the season, falling in 5 sets last week to third-ranked Lakeville North. The Rebels faced another ranked team Tuesday in their home opener.
Number 4 Eastridge visiting second-ranked Champlin Park in a great early season prep volleyball matchup Tuesday night. The Rebels' Reese Axness with a back set to Carly Gilk, who goes down the line with her attack. And it's a 5-3 Champlin Park lead in the first set. Then Axness sets the ball to Lily Reese, and the senior with back-to-back kills from the middle. Rebels are up 9-5. The Raptors hanging close. It's Alexis Oppland with a setter dump for a point. And Eastridge is down just 2 at 14-12. Good dig by Ava Bolter, passing to Axness, and then the quick set to Catherine Adler, who ends the set with a kill. Champlin Park wins 25-18. Set 2, it's Gilk hammering down another ball with that swing. Champlin Park leads 11-8. Bolter had a big night serving. The junior with one of her 6 ace serves in the match. Rebels up 14-8. Champlin Park with some good defense too. Adler and Riley Inman get up for the block here to make it 21-12. Rebels go on to win the second set 25-13. The Raptors, looking to extend the match, take the lead in the third set. This block puts Eastridge ahead 14-11. But the Rebels close the set and the match on a 12-5 scoring run. Adler, with another of her 10 kills on the night, puts CP up 3. And Gilk closes the night out with an ace serve. She finishes with a team-high 12 kills as Champlin Park sweeps Eastridge to even their record at 1-1.
After a run of strong seasons, the Cooper football team hit a rough patch last fall. As Jay Wilcox reports, the Hawks are looking to get back on track this season.
They're looking to bounce back. The Cooper football team had a rare losing season last fall as a young group went 3-7.
I feel like last year we had a lot of young guys, and that was just a learning experience. So we're going to take coming into this year, using that as motivation.
It's definitely a learning experience. Like I said, we lost some games that I thought, we could have eked out at the end, but it did reveal some things about our team. We're built character building, right, and it's resilient. I think we started playing really good football toward the end of the year last year, so hopefully we'll build on that momentum going into this year.
The experience gained by a talented group of young players should pay off this fall. 2 position groups have been excelling in practice, one on each side of the ball.
I would definitely say our wide receiver group.
A linebacker core will probably be the strength of our team this year. We have Emmanuel Carmo, Jalen Hayes. We have a new transfer in, and so I'm really excited about that group. They're very athletic with some experience.
Some of the guys to watch this year for Cooper: linebacker and tight end Emmanuel Carmo, two-way lineman Lucas Johnson,
linebacker and running back Tony Colley, running back Randy Smith, quarterback Cameron Fox, safety and wide receiver Talon Williams, and lineman Jeremiah Hoskins. They found out last season that winning isn't automatic, so it's one day at a time to get better for Cooper.
Yep, the battle's not won overnight, so it's a everyday thing, everyday process. Just gotta trust it.
Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Cooper hosts Park Center in the Hawks season opener Thursday at 5 p.m. We have our first prep football games of the season this week live on CCX. Thursday night, it's defending state class 6A champion Maple Grove hosting Osseo. And then Friday night, Breck and Providence Academy kick off their seasons in Plymouth. Both of those games are scheduled to start at 7 p.m. with our pregames at 6:54. You can watch the games live on CCX1, Comcast Channel 799, or online at ccxmedia.org. That's all for sports. More CCX News after this.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.